So we finally got the heavily anticipated CPI data, the inflation data from July, and let me tell you guys, you know this already, everybody's paying attention to CPI, inflation, the labor market, as all eyes are on the Federal Reserve and what they're going to do with rates. Are we getting a cut, which I doubt? Are we getting a hike? Which, who knows, that might be pushed back here, guys. So we have to go over the CPI today, inflation, go over some stocks, 5 in particular, and talk about some earnings from Nebius, from CoreWeave, and we'll break down some other stocks. So guys, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, trades, if you want to be a part of my private Discord, see how I invest my money, all of that's on Patreon, link down below, pinned in the comments, in the bio, in the description box. You guys can't miss it. I'll see you in there. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive into it. So right now, we're currently trading at about 772 on SPY, up around 0.25% on the day. The Qs are up around 0.75% on the day, trading at 723. The Russell is up around 0.25, not too bad. It actually looks like this bull flag that we called out yesterday looks like it wants to play out. We might be hitting all-time highs, so we're seeing green pretty much across the board. The Dow is at break-even. Oil is pretty much at break-even as well, as the VIX is coming down 3%. The VIX is pretty much at a fresh low here in 2026. Pretty crazy, honestly. The VIX hit 1340 back in December, and now we're not there exactly, but we're getting pretty dang close to where we were in December on the VIX, which is a little bit alarming. I'm not going to lie. If the VIX does get down a little bit more to 13, maybe into the 12s, which would be insane, I might have to buy some puts or some sort of protection in my portfolio because that would be just too low on the VIX. We'd probably be due for a pullback or some sort of event that would spike the VIX, right? At that point, I think I would purchase some protection, but we'll talk about that when the time comes. As of now, though, we're up across the board, and as of the CPI release, the market popped. You guys can see SPY hit about, I think, 775 in the morning. So we ran for the hour after the CPI came out. Then we actually dumped into open, and we've been trickling down a little bit since, right? Not much, but we are down a little bit off that high, but we're still up on the day. We're still up on the day on SPY, on the Qs, even though we're down from that, high at open. We're still up on the day. SPY, again, hit 775. The Qs hit 727. Now we're down to about 723. We're still up 0.75%. Not too bad at all. And this is after, again, CPI came out. Let me show you this report very quickly. We'll run through it, then go over some stocks I'm watching, 5 stocks in particular, Nebius, CoreWeave, Micron, a couple other ones, and these are all looking good today. So CPI came in at 0.1% in July as expected, putting the annual rate at 3.4%. And I'm sure you guys saw my video yesterday. We covered the estimates and they came pretty much right in line with what Wall Street was expecting. So if we look here on an annual basis, inflation rates were 3.4% and 2.5%, both down 0.1 percentage points from June. I believe that 2.5 is core. Yeah, that's the core number, right? Yeah, excluding food and energy, that came in at 2.5 on the annual and 0.2% on the monthly number for core. And that's pretty good. It came in right in line. That's exactly what we wanted to see. I mean, we would have liked it to be lower than the estimate, but in line is fine. Is fine with me. And at this point, with everything going on in the Middle East, everything's changing all the time, the constant change, oil's up, oil's down. This is not too bad of a print, honestly, and the market is liking it. Again, we're up across the board at this point. And in the grand scheme of things, guys, CPI inflation has come down massively from where it was a couple years ago. You guys know that. We hit 9% on the headline number. Core got to about almost 7%. So we've made progress. The Fed's done a good job, in my opinion. Some argue they haven't done a good job. They should have been more aggressive, blah, 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 but we have seen inflation come down a very good amount, and energy prices dropped another 1.5% for the month, following a 5.7% decrease in June. Still, the sector saw an annual increase of almost 15%, following sharp gains in prior months, so obviously that is still elevated. Both food and shelter saw 0.1% increases in July. Shelter costs had been stubborn and a key contributor toward keeping the inflation rate above 2%. And let's see, new vehicle prices rose 0.1%, while used cars and trucks increased by 0.4%, and medical care was up 0.4%, and airline fares accelerated 2.2%. And here you guys can see the U.S. Consumer Price Index, the monthly change, which clearly back in 2022, we were seeing some insane increases on the monthly numbers, and now they've come down a good chunk, but still, we've been spiking here over the last couple of months compared to where we were in 2023, 24, 25. Inflation is starting to come back up for obvious reasons, but nowhere near where it was, a couple years ago. And honestly, I hope it doesn't get there anytime soon again. You know what I mean? So at this point, with inflation coming in line, right, and the labor market being as weak as it was in July, I think the Fed, I think they will still hike rates by 25 basis points this year, right? But I think it might get pushed back a meeting. I think they're not going to be as aggressive as some people might think. That's just me. I don't know. What do you guys think? But inflation, it's not like we got a crazy print. It's not like the labor market was super strong. I mean, it came in line, and the labor market's weak at this point. Maybe in August it strengthens. We'll see. But I think the Fed's going to take this data into account, obviously, as they do, and they might not be as aggressive with hiking rates. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they still hike rates in the next meeting. It might happen by 25 basis points. It might happen. What do you guys think? So with that being said, let me show you Nebius, which Nebius is going haywire right now, guys. 25% in the green, trading at 240 after we got their earnings. And CoreWeave, they came out yesterday, and CoreWeave stock right now is up 19%. Both of these stocks are going bananas. We did talk about CoreWeave yesterday, but I'll talk more about them here in a second. But first, let me show you Nebius. Nebius reported earnings per share. Let's see if I can find it here, guys. EPS came in at a loss of 12 cents, adjusted by the way, versus the loss of 62 cents expected. So very strong beat on adjusted EPS, and revenue beat as well. $582 million versus $572 million expected. So double beat out of Nebius, and they affirmed their full year 26 sales guidance of $3 to $3.4 billion versus $3.39 billion expected. So very strong earnings, solid guidance. The fact that they affirmed it is good, and the stock is liking it. The stock's getting more clarity, more certainty, right? And we're starting to break out for the first time in a couple weeks. I mean, look, in about 4 or 5 weeks, this is the first time we're breaking out, and we can see this inverse head and shoulders that I believe we talked about. If not, it looks like now it's playing out. You guys can see it right here. The left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. This inverse head and shoulders is playing out beautifully. You know, we're taking out 230. We're now at 241. We're above these moving averages. We're at a multi-week high. This stock honestly could be going higher, even though it's already up 25%. It looks like it wants to go even higher. Very good earnings out of Nebius and CoreWeave for that matter, which again, we talked about yesterday. CoreWeave now is up off the lows from the 29th of July. We're up almost 100%. We're up 90% off the lows Unbelievable on CoreWeave here, guys. The company reported earnings per share. Let's see if I can find them. EPS, where the heck are they, guys? They lost $1.03 versus the loss of $1.22 expected on sales of $2.57 billion versus $2.56. And let's see, their guidance, I'm pretty sure, was strong as well. Yeah, they see Q3 sales of $3.45 to $3.6 billion versus $3.42 billion expected. So very good earnings. Very good guidance. The CFO said they expect 26 capex in the range of $35 to $39 billion. Okay. This is the clarity. This is the certainty the stock wanted to see, investors wanted to see, and we're finally getting it, and the stock is starting to move, right? Cheers to that, guys. Cheers to that. Let me get some coffee. And at this point, we are a bit overbought. That's the reality, but we're completely breaking out again. And any little pullback here on CoreWeave has to be taken seriously as an entry point, in my opinion. What do you guys think? And by the way, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe here on the channel, the page, if you haven't done so already. I appreciate you all. Hit the like button. Follow along for more content. Without you guys, this would not be possible. I appreciate you all for tuning in, as always. So Micron is starting to look like it wants to break out. We're not fully there yet, so don't get too excited, but Micron is starting to look decent. We have an inverse head and shoulders on this stock as well. If I zoom in, you guys might be able to kind of see it. We have the left shoulder, the head. We got the right shoulder right here. You guys are seeing that. We're actually starting to push above these moving averages for the first time in a couple of weeks and months. So Micron, by no means is it actually fully breaking out yet, but we are up over 6%. We are starting to see that push, and we do have a descending triangle. Keep that in mind. We still have that. That's not bullish at all, but just because we have that doesn't mean it has to play out, as you guys obviously know. You know, the chart patterns that you see don't always play out. And, you know, yeah, I mean, this thing, it's been flat for weeks, for months now. It's been in limbo, but eventually it will follow the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are still strong behind Micron right now, you know, the entire memory trade. So we have to wait for the confirmation, but it kind of looks like we're starting to break out. And I think if we take out $950 to $1,000 a share, this thing could ultimately fly, right? So Micron, I'm keeping an eye on it, watching the inverse head and shoulders, looking to see if we break the mid-high 900s. GLW is another one which I'm long. This stock is up 5% on the day. This is Corning, by the way, if you guys didn't know, and we have a clear inverse head and shoulders on Corning as well. You guys see the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. We're starting to push the 180 SMA for the first time since this stock fell off a cliff, right? We've kind of found our footing now. We're starting to rebound, and this is a critical spot for Corning to break through. And honestly, if it does, I might add more to my position, as I think this could be a $200 stock again, $200 plus stock for that matter, no problem. So I feel like we're gearing up for that. You know, we're not fully breaking out yet, so don't get too excited, but we're seeing the writing on the wall. At least I am. You know, we're seeing the pattern. We're seeing sentiment shift in the overall AI trade, and GLW is going to take part of that next big move in the AI trade, right? Which I think we're going to get that pretty soon here. We're already seeing a lot of these stocks moving, and I think that will continue across a lot of these stocks. Not all these stocks, not all the stocks, but a good amount of them I think will continue moving here. Groupon is another one I'm watching. It's trading at $21.80, $22 a share. This company just reported pretty good numbers. The stock went from $30 down to about $21. The uptrend looks phenomenal on Groupon. You guys see it here. If I get the channel tool out, let me draw it out. You can see we're holding this channel pretty clearly, and this is more of a turnaround play, but it's a turnaround play where the chart actually looks good. A lot of the time, these turnaround plays are in downtrends. The stock looks like crap, but this one actually looks pretty good, the chart. And I'm looking to see if it holds the low mid 20s. I think this could be a nice recovery play, a continuation play for the, to the mid high 20s, quite frankly, I think is where we could be going. So, what do you guys think about CPI, the markets, what's going on overall? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. Again, make sure to subscribe, follow along for more content, and join my Patreon if you guys want to keep up with what I'm actually doing in my portfolio, my trades, investments, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stockssurfs.com/Patreon. I'll see you guys in there, and with that being said, cheers, have a great rest of your day.